Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner. Welcome back for some more Deathgate. We are inside the mall, looking for the golden staff, but there's a giant spider over here. So we'll have to deal with that. The creature is as big as a house. Venom drips from wicked fangs, and compound eyes scan back and forth. It sits quietly, patiently, in the center of the massive web, surrounded by pods which contain previous visitors to its domain. The whole effect is rather unsettling. There's a hive. Papery hives are attached to many of the trees surrounding this pit. Nasty flying insects crawl in and out of them. Ugly, mean-looking insects swarm around and on the hives, attached to the trees surrounding the mall. The web bulges in places where the spider has imprisoned its visitors. You can make out some large animals and a few human or elven figures inside the translucent web pods. Inside one of the pods, you see the silhouette of a staff. Toward the center of the web, you spy the silhouette of a staff embedded, along with its dead owner, inside the pods. One golden end, protruding from the pods, reflects the little light in the pit. So, has this spider been around for ages then? I mean, it was the prince's ancestors that threw the staff down here. The trees, which appeared elegant topside, now have a shadowy, sinister look about them. They are too large and smooth to climb. It seems that someone else made it to this root ledge, but finding himself here, had nowhere to go and died. It appears he has been here for a long time. A root from the nearest tree curls around the web. It has enough space for you to stand safely outside the web. It's also home to another visitor who's been here quite a bit longer than yourself. Only the most resilient parts of his body remain. Okay, I think I checked everything. So we have the spider and we have the insects. We have these yellow petals, don't we? So I might be able to put them on the hive. No. Maybe put the yellow petals on the insects. The insect doesn't stay still long enough for you to put the yellow petals on it. I was thinking doing what the children did, getting an empty hive to light on fire. I still have a red hot ember. Maybe just use the... I've never smelled anything quite so bad or so strong. It reminds you of carrion left in the sun for a few weeks. What if I put this with the ember? No. I was thinking about increasing the potency of the yellow petal smell to use on the spider, or use it on the hive to get the insects away from here and maybe attack the spider. Shell with the ember on the hive. As soon as you touch the hot ember to the massive hive on the tree, it bursts into flame. Oh, I was going to try and use the heat spell on it, but apparently I didn't have to. In surprise, you jerk your hand back and drop the shell containing the ember into the web below. The air erupts with the nasty, stinging bugs that had made the hive their home. Some of the insects make tentative passes at you, but veer away when they get within range of the foul odor wafting from the yellow petals you hold. Oh, so I don't have to do anything with the petals, just holding them. Well, I guess I had to crush them. Without a target, the insect swarms move angrily at random. Attracted by the sweet aroma, some fly towards the marmalade, but are immediately driven back by the odor of the petals. Others just fly in circles, buzzing angrily. The sweet aroma of the marmalade, huh? Throw it at the spider. With a grunt of effort, you heave the jar of marmalade at the spider. It strikes dead center and smashes open. The marmalade splashes all over its disgusting body. You can smell the sickly sweet aroma from here. The insects are immediately attracted by the sweet smell of the marmalade-splashed spider. As one, they swarm toward it. The center of the web becomes a flurry of activity. The stinging insects whirl around the spider as it thrashes in agony. Soon, the one-sided battle dies down. The spider slumps onto the web in death. You almost feel sorry for the creature. Covered with marmalade and crawling insects, it has lost much of the dignity a great predator deserves. Okay, let's take the gold staff. Take. You scramble across the web until you reach a pod. There you pry with bare hands at the thick, sticky strands but get nowhere. The pod is far too strong to open in this fashion. Disconcerted, you return to the relative safety of the ledge. Maybe if I cut it with the shear? You scramble over the web until you get to the pod. There, you whip out the garden shear and start to saw away at the thick, sticky strands. After a few minutes, the golden staff, as well as its grisly ex-owner, are completely revealed. You grab the staff and make your way back to the relative safety of the ledge. Okay, we have the staff, so it's a shame I can't take the disc with me. Oh well. Because I need it on the ground in order to get away from here. Okay, let's go back to the prince. This should be the third item that he needs. You give the final item to the prince and offer a quick word of encouragement. He breathes deeply to bolster his courage and strides toward the princess, holding the staff out before him like a shield. The prince nervously slides up to the princess. Her eyes open wide when she sees the object he holds, and she excitedly asks about it. He stammers an explanation and she nods throughout, but it is obvious that he is losing her attention. He thrusts the bunch of blue flowers towards her. She gasps in astonishment, but smiles and accepts them. For the first time, you notice that she has a twinkle in her eye while looking at the prince. You sense that she is beginning to see the prince as something other than merely an elf or a prince, and more than a friend. She says nothing, however, and the silence begins to expand. The prince pulls out the book of poems and flips through it. He reads at random from a poem which speaks of a man's love for his favorite steed. When he realizes the poem's subject matter, he immediately stops and moves on to another. Instead of being insulted, the princess giggles softly at the prince's boyish attempts to enchant her. Soon, he has found a heart-rending poem that actually brings tears to the eyes of the princess. At the end of the reading, she throws her arms around the prince and kisses him. He drops the book and returns the kiss. After a few minutes, a smiling prince wanders back to you. Well, this was remarkably easy. Apparently all you need to woo a princess is a golden staff, a poem and some flowers.
It worked! All of it! She has agreed to consider my courtship, and I owe it all to you, my friend, more than I can ever repay. But I will try. I know that you have a quest here, but I know not what it is. I will accompany and help you as I can, and perhaps I can give you some fraction of the happiness you have given me.
Oh! The elf prince is with us.
Greetings. My prince explained that you are a friend of his and that you helped bring us together. For that, I am indebted to you.
Yeah, can I have that flute?
My role in your romance was nothing, dear princess.
On the contrary, it means everything to me. I am not blind to what the consequences of our union could mean to our races as well. It could unite our peoples. This could usher in a new age of peace. You are largely responsible for that.
The prince is a sweet guy, isn't he?
He's very sweet, a little naive, but all the more adorable because of it. I never really thought of elves that way, but he changed my mind.
What do you think your father is going to say about your union?
I don't think he's ever considered the idea, but he has a lot of respect for the elves. After a little grumbling, I think he'll be happy for me.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor? Certainly. What is it?
I was wondering if you'd accompany me somewhere. I need you to use your golden sword for a task.
Of course I'll help you. I can't imagine what task would require my golden sword. It's not much of a weapon, it's a symbol of leadership. But I'll be happy to accompany you.
Okay. We have party members.
Greetings, my friend.
That's a nice flute you've got there.
Thank you. It was given to me by my warder. He's the one who trained me to hunt and track, but he also taught me to play this flute. He is one of the only people I know who still remembers how to play the old written music. There isn't much of it left, but he collected some of the ancient sheets and kept them safe. I was honored to learn the skill from him.
Tell me a little about your people.
I thought you were human, but I guess you're not. Otherwise, my people would be your people. We're nomadic. We live all over Pryan following the game we hunt. It might appear to the other races that we're rather loosely organized, but that's not true. My father leads us wisely with the council of the people. We have thrived for generations. Our lives are hard, though, and sometimes dangerous. The appeal of the elves' safe and stable society affects many of us. For some, it's too much to resist. They come to the elves as refugees and beg for whatever work is available. I think my people want to settle down. They follow my father out of loyalty, but they're ready to change the way they live. Even I wouldn't mind some stability.
Are you ill? It sounds like you've got a cough.
I do have a slight cough, but it's nothing. I caught a chill in a downpour a little while ago. I'll get over it eventually. Just now, it's not that bad.
Okay, I think we can ask her to play the flute, but not now. I mean,
Thanks,
she's with us,
That's
so...
all I have to say.
Sure.
I don't think there's anything left for us to do here. So let's go back to the ship. And to the citadel. Now we have to find the dwarves. Okay, it's this creature. I don't know why it's here. I mean, we needed a shell, but there were many shells here. Oh, there's a dwarf girl. A young dwarf girl is tied to a tree with vines here. She looks desperate.
You've got to get out of here! There are giants everywhere! They're hiding in the trees just waiting for someone to walk into their forest so they can grab them, throw them against a very uncomfortable tree, and tie them up with vines! Leave before it's too late!
Oh, I see another titan here. I didn't notice him before. Can I use the shear on... Oh, hello. You approach the struggling dwarf, but when you come within a few yards of her, the surrounding trees shake. Giants appear, lumbering menacingly toward you. They look vaguely human, save for their lack of hair, their huge size, and their eyeless faces. Something other than sight must direct them, for they avoid all obstacles in their single-minded pursuit of you. You retreat, rather in a rush, and the forms melt back into the trees. The dwarf slumps in despair. Okay, let's do the melody. If you remember, in that book about Trian we found in the Brotherhood's vault, there is a chapter about the Titans, and they can be nullified with a song.
Would you mind doing me a favor?
A favor? Certainly. What is it?
Could you take a look at this book? It has some written music in it. I'd like to know if you could play it.
This is incredible. It's music from the ancients. What an amazing find. Would you like me to play it?
Yes, start playing it now if you would.
Very well. Just tell me when to stop.
The princess lifts the flute to her lips. A haunting, hypnotic melody emerges. You slip next to the struggling dwarf and pull out the garden shear. The princess's melody appears to keep the giants at bay while you saw through the dwarf's bindings. The vines fall away just as the princess coughs and stops playing the flute. The forest erupts with the towering brutes all racing towards you with murder in their eyeless faces. You grab the dwarf's hand and sprint off to the south. The crowded forest falls away, and when your party finally has reached the clearing, you notice that the giants have stopped following you. The dwarf girl gasps for breath. Her legs were obviously made for negotiating much shorter distances. After she recovers, she looks up at you. Naturally, you expect the small creature to overwhelm you with gratitude.
Why did you rescue me?
What do you mean?
I mean, why would a party of 2 humans and an elf risk their lives to save a dwarf? It doesn't make any sense.
Why wouldn't we?
It just doesn't happen. We haven't even seen an elf for generations, and the humans we have seen have been content to keep as far from us as possible. It suits us fine. Humans and elves can keep their petty wars to themselves as far as we're concerned.
Because you were in trouble. Everyone should help out those in need.
Wow, you really helped me just because I needed help? That's so nice. I don't believe it.
She wipes away a tear snaking down her
It's
sideburns.
a custom among my people to give a favor in return for one, especially one as significant as saving a life. All you have to do is ask.
Well, there's a golden hammer, you see.
That's fine, but could I talk with you a while before I ask for anything?
Of course. What do you want to talk about?
Can you tell me anything about that building to the south?
Sure. It's the great shining city. No one ever enters and no one ever leaves. The front doors are closed and nothing can open them. We've even tried tunneling in. We just bounced off the floor. It's made of something we've never encountered before.
How did you get captured?
I wandered into the forest of giants when I shouldn't have. I just wanted to see them. Everyone told me that they were actually bigger than humans. I didn't believe it until they jumped out of the trees and grabbed me. The giants don't bother anyone unless you go into their forest. They're pretty touchy about that. I'm just lucky they tied me up instead of stepping on me.
Tell me what you know about these giants.
Many generations ago, my ancestors dug their tunnels here. When they emerged from the ground to have a look around, they encountered the giants. They weren't friendly, and definitely not especially happy to meet us. Mayhem broke out. The dwarves weren't used to war, but they were quick studies. They forged weapons and battled the giants for years. One day, the giants suddenly stopped fighting. They drew back into the forest and remained there. As long as we stayed out, they left us alone. We keep the store of weapons in a vault, though, ready just in case the giants change their minds and attack. We also have an interesting legend about the giants.
Tell me the legend of these giants.
According to legend, the giants are the children of the Shining City. They lived inside it and were very happy, but they always wondered what lay outside of the city's walls. One day they snuck out. The city discovered them missing. It was furious that its children had left it, so as punishment it took away their eyes and closed its doors, leaving them outside. The Shining City became dark in its sorrow. The giants moved into the forest nearby. They hoped that one day the city would reopen its doors and let them in. The only memory of their time inside was a gem that one of them had brought with them. They cherished that memory and guarded it jealously. One day the city's heart grew lonely. It decided to forgive its errant children and invite them to return, so it began to shine again. If the giants had seen it, they would have rushed home. But the city had taken their eyes and they couldn't see the beckoning light. So they remain inside the forest, waiting for a call that came long ago. And the city waits for its children who will never return. We dwarves believe that if only we could lead the giants back to the city, they would go in and leave the forest to us. We know that they are guarding the gem at the center of the forest. A few brave dwarfs have entered the forest in hopes of stealing the gem and bringing it to the shining city. The giants would follow the gem, and when they came upon the city, it would open its doors to them and they would go back home.
What do you know about the gem?
Supposedly, it's huge and crystal and has strange writings on it. Actually, it's not supposed to be all that valuable. Crystal's not worth much. You'd figure that something they guarded so fiercely would be worth more.
Has anyone ever been able to take the gem?
A long time ago, a dwarf named Lungput the Swift ventured into the forest. Somehow he made it to the center, into a clearing, and there, lying on the ground, he discovered the gem. He grabbed it and bolted for the city. Well, the giants followed him all right, but they caught him before he got anywhere near the city. He tried hiding behind trees and rocks anywhere out of sight, but the giants homed in on him as if he were a beacon. They took back their gem and squished poor Lungput. Since then, no one's ever come back out of the forest once they went in.
How far did you make it inside? Did you actually see the gem?
No, I never got anywhere near it. I didn't even mean to go as far as I did. One step inside the forest was enough for these big bullies. They grabbed me and tied me up. Didn't even say a word.
Do they normally squash intruders?
That's what the elders say, and no one's ever said differently. I thought maybe they were exaggerating just to keep us out of the forest, but maybe not. At least they only tied me up.
Are you sure you didn't get stepped on? You're pretty short.
One of these days, gravity is going to realize that people shouldn't have legs that long. Then you'll be sorry.
Enough about these giants.
All right, what else do you want to know?
Do you know anything about a golden hammer?
A golden hammer? I'm not sure. Wait, I think there's a golden hammer in the weapons vault. A few years ago, there was a false alarm. We thought that the Titans were attacking, so the elders ordered that the vault be opened. Everyone took up weapons and headed towards the forest. At that point, we realized we had been tricked. Some child got his rear tanned, and everyone went to replace their weapons.
Wait, is this a mistake here? She's been calling them giants all this time, but here she calls them by their name, Titans.
I was one of the first in the vault, and I noticed a golden hammer shoved way in the back. No one had taken it. I looked at it to find out why. The weight was all wrong, and I determined that it was actually forged of gold. Can you believe it? A soft metal like gold? One strong blow and the thing would flatten. I don't understand why anyone ever made such a useless weapon.
Do you think you could get it for me? That could be my favor.
I don't think so. The only time the vault is open is in response to an attack by the giants. They never make exceptions. In fact, ever since the false alarm, they are more careful than ever to verify that the attack is genuine. They don't want dwarves harming themselves or others, either by accident or deliberately, by using these weapons. Some of them are very dangerous.
Oh boy, I'm going to have to lead the Titans into the dwarves, aren't I?
Is there any other way into the vault?
Absolutely not. Dwarves are masters at tunneling. We made the vault impossible to tunnel into by lining it with fire-hardened metals. There's no way in unless it is opened.
Maybe the hammer wasn't meant to be used as a weapon.
Why would someone forge a hammer unless it was meant to be used? That doesn't make any sense.
Could you go ask the elders if they'd make an exception? No one seems to want the hammer anyway.
I could ask, but I already know the answer. Nothing is going to open that vault except an attack from the giants, and I really hope that doesn't happen in my lifetime. I'll go, though. Wait here. I'll be back soon.
The dwarf girl grabs the branch sticking out of the dead tree trunk and pulls it in an intricate motion, which you take the time to memorize. In response, a hidden door pops open. She ducks inside and scuttles downward into a tunnel. Oh. So the dwarves live underground here? Okay, I'm not sure if I should wait or if I should follow. Maybe I'll wait first, but for now, that's all the time we have. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed some more Deathgate, and as usual, don't miss the next episode, because I won't. I will see you all next time.